What up? What up? Good evening, or actually afternoon. Wouldn't be a day without some crazy ish going on in Texas. There was actually a high school shooting as well. There's cops still out there, but the high school shooting thing is kind of over already. There was I don't think anybody's dead. I think somebody was shot and injured or something, and they had suspects in custody. But Wilson was telling me about this. And there's this situation. Apparently, this guy was denied his. I'll try to find more information. Denied his CDL. That's like, I guess, what is that? That's like their truck license, or like, it was a CDL. Let's see. CDL license. Commercial driver's license. So somebody was denied their license, and I guess they flipped. Well, I got upset. And decided to drive this shit into the building. Let's see. Huh? Yeah. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. I'll open it for you. Okay. Oh, don't I have? I don't have notifications. Oh, there we go. Wait, no. Do I not have notifications on this page? Let me see. Oh. Oh, that's weird. I don't think notifications went out. Did you guys get notifications for this? I don't know. That's weird. Happy Friday! No notifications. That is so weird because I should have some by now. Let's see, I can Very strange. You don't get notified for this channel anymore? That's so weird. Yeah, I normally have my second page, and I'm subbed to this channel. It happened in Branham, Texas, between Houston and Austin. Huh. Yeah, Branham, Texas. I'm just trying to figure out why notifications aren't going out. That's weird. Texas. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. I got another in-person view. Let me get this up on the screen. That's crazy. I didn't see that truck like that. I don't know what's going on. Notifications, man. I'm gonna have to email this YouTube manager, see what's going on. Maybe I'll email her right now.
Huh? Yeah, I know. Just yeah, because it all adds up nasty. How you been, bro? Good.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, did that cop car have to crash into that one? Been getting notifications after. That's what people are telling me too, that they're getting the notifications after the live streams end. What the heck? All right. Going out. Lately, a lot of people. Screenshots. How long has that whole thing of like the no notifications thing been happening? The after the live ends.
Hey Doug, just to let you know, it's really scratchy, whatever you said.
Really? Right.
Copy, thank you. Copy, thank you, Jason.
Okay, I just sent her email. I don't know. Maybe she can look into it. That's weird. For a few days now, 2 days, because I know this person had me change a setting in my YouTube page. It has nothing to do with notifications, but I wonder if that could have caused the problem. Let me see. Okay. I wonder if it's because she had me change some settings, and we were supposed to test it out to see if it improves monetization and ads. But I don't know. Now that I noticed since I changed that setting that she showed me, and it's been like 2 days, everybody's telling me they're getting my notifications after the live is over. And let me see. And I checked my second account that I follow myself on, and no notifications for this live. That's weird. It's not just my channel. Definitely getting ads. That's weird. So anyway, yeah, with this Texas situation, this person, they were denied their commercial license. And I guess the person flipped. Got upset. And rammed his shit, I guess, into the building. Into the DMV building. Not just my channel, it's happening for everyone. Damn. Several serious injuries, government licensing office, he rammed the place several times. Damn. But the second channel seems to be working fine, though, right? Recap, anybody? He got denied his license, so he drove this shit into the building. That's the recap. Crazy ass drove this shit into the building. Let me see. I was trying to find out there's more information about this person, you know, like mental health, you know. Multiple people suffered serious injury. The Texas DPS first posted about the incident at 11:17 a.m. They posted that a person was arrested. There was no threat to the community. KHOU investigates Jeremy said according to scanner traffic, there were at least 14 injuries. 6 of those that were transported to the area hospitals and 3 by helicopter. We believe this was a criminal act.
I'm Jeremy Rogalski in the KHOU 11 newsroom. We want to bring you the very latest on some breaking news out of Brenham, Washington County. You're looking at live pictures from Air 11 of an 18-wheeler truck that crashed into the DPS driver's license branch in Brenham off of Highway 290 on the southwest side of town. DPS tweeted about 11:15 that there were multiple serious injuries after a commercial motor vehicle crashed into this building. Again, the DPS driver's license branch, and there were multiple serious injuries. Again, this is on Highway 290 near the Walmart, for those of you who are familiar with that area. I spoke with the Washington County Sheriff, Otto Hannick, who tells me that authorities believe this was an intentional criminal act. Again, a criminal act authorities believe they have on their hands. As you can see, law enforcement surrounding this DPS branch in Brenham, Washington County. We have also been monitoring scanner traffic over the past hour, and here is what we're hearing. That this suspect who was driving the truck is in fact in custody, and that the truck was possibly stolen that crashed into this DPS building. The initial call, we are told, again from scanner traffic, preliminary information, the initial call came from a gas station just south on 290 in the town of Chapel Hill, about 17 miles to the south and east. Apparently that's where the big rig, the 18-wheeler, was stolen, and that driver went up 290 into the town of Brenham and for unknown reasons at this time crashed into this DPS building. We are also hearing from scanner traffic, again preliminary information, that there were at least 14 injuries that occurred in this crash. 6 of those victims were transported to area hospitals, 3 by helicopter, by medical helicopter, and 8 people who were injured on scene refused to go to the hospital. Some of the victims, again from scanner traffic, we are told, include the elderly, perhaps a 90-year-old woman and a 78-year-old man who ostensibly were doing business as customers at this DPS branch in Brenham. We do not know the extent of their injuries. We also don't know a motive in this case. DPS tells us that a public information officer is en route and seen gathering information, and we expect a media briefing here in the next few minutes or the next hour. But again, to recap, DPS tweeting that this all occurred around 11:15 this morning, reporting multiple serious injuries when an 18-wheeler truck crashed into the DPS office in Brenham, Washington County. Multiple injuries. 3 people we know of were transported by medical helicopters rather. 1 to Memorial Hermann in Houston, another to St. Joe's in Bryant. That's the latest we have. Again, we continue to monitor the situation, waiting for official word from DPS. And we're also told now that one of those medical helicopters, you can see these live pictures, has arrived here back in Houston at Memorial Hermann to treat one of the wounded in this crash here this morning. That is the latest information we have. Of course, many questions. Why was this truck stolen? What was the motive of the driver who crashed into this building? We'll continue to work those sources and work information and continue to provide updates on KHAU.com throughout the afternoon. For now, Jeremy Rogowski reporting in the KHAU 11 newsroom.
Could have killed a couple of people. There was also a high school shooting. There was just one person injured. This was they actually finished the coverage. They were covering this high school earlier. There was a shooting over there. It was one person injured, nobody deceased. Suspect already in custody. This person's in custody as well too. This truck driver, or whatever he is. I wonder if we could get a mugshot, see what the person looks like. The end of times. Let me see if pop this up on the side here. I wonder if the second page is doing that as well. See, I'm curious, once I end this live stream, that's when the notification is going to go out, I guess? Weird. Well, let's see. Let me see something. What's up, Kick Rocks? How you doing? The link, is it link for Discord?
Hi, Jonathan. Parker, we can actually give you 30 more minutes.
When the videos are over the next day. I wonder if
No
something's
problem.
going on.
So yeah, try to give us 30 minutes. If I don't know if you can
Well,
cover, but when they take us, if we can get to the front where it shows the building and the. Okay.
Oh yeah, Raquel, we could probably watch that.
I was just telling the pilot if you just give us like a 2 minute and 30 seconds so that we can get set up. Copy. The producer was just asking us how long we had. It's up to you guys. You tell us when to go back or when to go to Brenham.
Did you see where a mom killed the boyfriend and her baby? Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday while we were waiting for the verdict. Yeah. Saying the Discord link's not working. Let me take a look. I made it to the default link, so it should always work, but I'll take a look. Bot.
Yeah, 2 p.m. Copy.
Okay. Commands. Oh, there's no commands there. Huh? Oh, it's turned off. What's one? Turn it on. I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't say I have any of the commands there. I have to figure that out after the stream. I can't mess around with it now. But for some reason, all the bot commands that are normally there, it's not there. Let's see. That's weird. Okay.
I think they might be coming towards us.
I mean, I see the bot in the
I
chat.
heard the
but
music. Is it?
turning off though.
We'll try to get lined back up for you.
Yeah, Wani, if you could email me when you're getting the notifications, that'd be good. Because I tweeted YouTube. I don't know if they're gonna reply or not, but oh look, people are telling me on Twitter too. Magnolia says I've been noticing this too. We went from no notifications at all for a while to now seeing them pop up after the live is done. Seems like once the live is over, once the live is done processing, a notification is being triggered as if it's uploaded. That's so freaking weird. Look, multiple people tell me the same thing. Other channels having the same issue. It's not exactly live notifications if they send it after the live stream ends, right? Come on, YouTube, reply to this shit. Well, I messaged my manager too. Maybe I don't know if she'll write back. It's just Friday, but maybe she gonna be out for the weekend. But
Hey, Jason, are they taking us?
I guess it is multiple people. That sucks, man. That really sucks. So I recommend follow me on some type of alternate platform that you can get my notifications, since YouTube seems to be having problems right now. I mean, they've always had problems, but this is the worst that I've seen it. So yeah, either follow me on Twitter,
Okay,
Facebook,
I couldn't hear him.
Discord. Pick one of the poisons, I guess. Pick your poison. There was this guy that was sentenced. I don't want to do that. There was this guy that was sentenced for road rage driving, right? And I don't know if you guys want to watch some of this while we wait for this chopper thing. This guy got into a road rage incident. Let me tell you the story real quick. Oh, let me switch this up. I'll tell you the story. This was in California. Courtroom. And the story is here. Okay. Homeboy looked kind of crazy in this picture too. Like, look at this shit right here. Homeboy look a little. He got them crazy eyes. Right? Got them crazy eyes. And so there was a situation back in 2021 where this mother was driving. Her name is... What is her name? Joanna Clunan. And she had her 6-year-old in the back seat sitting on a booster. His name is Aiden Leos. Fatal shooting of 6-year-old Aiden Leos. Marcus Anthony Perez is the shooter. And so I guess she cut him off.
25 minutes, Parker? About 20
She was driving,
minutes on fuel.
She was driving her kid to school. I believe she cut him off. According to the accounts from Clunan and witnesses who stopped to help her, another car cut her off. Okay,
so
she got cut off. Let me mute these motherfuckers. This shit's annoying as hell.
Copy. Are they taking us live with the picture? Because I can't hear anything.
So according to this account, she got cut off by this person. And when she got cut off, she made a hand gesture, which I could probably assume is the middle finger. The car slipped behind her, and then someone inside fired a shot through the rear of her car. There was a 2-week manhunt for Erez, now 26-year-old, and his girlfriend. So they're both on a run, and they were arrested. So Lee was allegedly driving the car when the shooting took place. Anthony Erez was the passenger who shot at the mother's vehicle. So this girl faces up to 4 years behind bars if convicted. And I think he's being sentenced to up to 40 years. He had a Glock 17 9mm shot the vehicle, and it pierced and it hit and killed the 6-year-old. So they had this hearing today. Or sentencing.
Under 12.22.53. Because under 12.22.53, the H section, if I don't dismiss it, I don't strike it, the defendant is statutorily ineligible for probation. So that's why I'm trying to establish that what the decision is here is whether the court should dismiss the enhancement that the jury found is true for the use of the gun causing death of this child.
Understood, Your Honor. And I understand the dynamic that the court's faced with. And it's also in light of these new laws that we have that situation, right? Because if we didn't have his age as a factor, and we didn't have what the law is saying is that, well, regardless of what the court does, he is eligible for parole at 25 years of service, right? Now, that's part of the court's analysis, because if the court strikes the enhancement, we are left with probation, or we're left with 15 to life on the second degree.
The reason I'm saying that, I think it's in everybody's interest that what the court does today is doing what the legislature has required the court to do. I think the last thing people want is a significant decision that the court to focus on various factors.
Taking a position in terms of what I think the court should do and what I think is the right thing to do. Because the reality is if you give Mr. Aris 15 years to life, or you give him 40 years to life, the pain that the victim's family suffered doesn't change. Mr. Aris understands that pain.
Commercial driver's license.
And he will be reading another statement that addresses some of that. And so I understand the court's position. In light of the new law, I'll just summarize the defense position as this. In light of the new law where we recognize the dynamic of the human condition in terms of what trauma does to you, when we recognize that a 24-year-old making an act is different from a cerebral concept than somebody who is perhaps 40 or 45 or 50. The law is recognizing that. And so the defense position very simply is, if the law is saying that a person of this age is parole eligible at 25 years, the defense position very simply is that the sentence should not go above that.
Right.
And I think, from my perspective, I always want to try to convince the court, and I understand the uphill battle here. And from the defense position, when I see somebody like Mr. Aris, when I first met him, one of the things that I look at is watching these men and women become institutionalized and hard. And I am amazed that Mr. Aris has not done so. He's still as nice of a guy as when I first met him.
Still as nice of a guy as he went on when he shot and killed this 6-year-old in a road rage incident. Right.
His goodness is infectious. Never bitter. Totally accepting of the court. It's extraordinary to see. Mr. Aris is an incredible artist, and he draws pictures. And he drew me a picture yesterday that he gave to me. And he explained the picture to me, and I won't share it with the court, but what he explained is that the way he drew the picture was that it was to cast out bad spirits. So for Mr. Aris, it wasn't, I want to wish you luck in the sentencing, because that would arguably come back to me being successful for him. That's not what he was wishing me. What he was wishing me was the bad spirits go away. And so, as much as I'd like to try to think that I'm a good enough attorney to tell the court something that's going to impress the court enough to agree with me, I think that perhaps Mr. Aris's final statement is probably the best way to do it. So, with the court's permission.
Oh, okay, so he made a statement. That's what I was kind of curious. I want to see what the guy had to say. That shot the 6-year-old.
I would like to start by saying that Aiden was like such a beautiful, precious, sweet, and happy little boy. He was a son, a little brother, and a friend to others. He looked as if he brightened up the world everywhere he went, and truly one of God's little angels. And I am so sorry for ever hurting him and for the pain that he went through because of me. He never deserved it, and neither did his family. Miss Clunan, I am truly sorry for taking your beautiful son away from you. There are no words for how deeply and truly sorry I am for parting you and your son, or putting you and your son through so much pain. And not only you and Aiden, but your entire family has to suffer this heartache and pain because of me, and for that I am extremely sorry. Every night I pray for Aiden and your family. I know the burden and pain that you carry will never change.
By the way, just sidestepping real quick, I wonder if they have actual footage of this truck being rammed, like ramming it into this building. For the people that just joined, oh god, they sent me a robot response. Here to help. Notifications can be delayed as our system goes through each subscriber personalized notification settings. They just sent me some robot bullshit. For sending them, you can also check this. I hate that shit, yo. You gotta love it. There's no humanity anymore. Everything's just some robot fucking reply. Okay.
But I pray that God will help you with how you carry it, and that you may find peace and happiness again. I am so sorry, Miss Coonan. I also want to apologize to everyone else. Not only did I victimize the family, but I feel I victimized the first responders, the hospital staff, the investigators, the DA, my entire defense team, the judge, and the jury, and my family, and Winnie and their family, or Miss Lee and their family. I'm so sorry for putting everyone through this. None of you deserve to see this, but I put you through it. The effects of my actions have spread to everyone like dropping a rock in a pond, and I hurt everyone around me. I affected everyone in some way. Whether it be big or small, it doesn't change the fact that I am responsible for everyone's trauma, heartache, pain, and suffering. And for that, I am also deeply sorry. No words to you would alleviate your pain or soften your hearts to me. So I will end by saying this. Dear Lord in heaven, forgive me. As I stand before this court today, accountable for the terrible road I have chosen, I know that one day I will also stand before you, Lord, still accountable to you for my actions in this world. Lord, I pray you will carry Aiden's family in your loving arms every day. Open their eyes to your grace. Give them peace. I pray you stay with me also every day. I pray, Jesus, that you will not stop looking for me, your lost sheep. I have strayed so far away from you.
All in the name of Jesus.
And I need you to guide me back home. Lord, I beg forgiveness. I pray, let me praise your name for Aiden's life every day of what's left of mine. And in Jesus' holy name, my life is in your hands. Amen.
Anything further on behalf of the defense?
Submit.
All right, Mr. Feldman, I'm going to allow you to comment. The defendant did make an additional statement. I had him go first and let you comment on that. And so the court is going to allow you to comment if you so desire.
Thing I've said, I think we can just look at it for what it is. Violent felony, jury's finding statutorily ineligible. Versus, on the other side, what is clearly a sincere apology and a prayer. But what we're talking about is the fabric that holds us all together, which is following the rule of law. And I think the court's laid it out. I think the law is very clear. I think the weight to be given to any doctor's note is in the court's hands, and we fully trust in that. But in this situation, there is no legal, there is no other justification outside of that that would justify the striking of the gun enhancement. Unless the court has questions, that's all I have.
I don't.
Thank you.
Any concluding comments on behalf of your client?
Wimbles, thank you for the 8 months. By the way, for the people that just joined, we're waiting. They're going to have a press conference now. There was a semi-truck that literally crashed into this building. Well, they ended the helicopter. I think they ran out of fuel. But crashed into a building purposely, criminally, multiple times because he did not get approved for his CDL license, which is a commercial driver's license. So, you need a CDL to drive a truck. I don't know how this guy got a hold of a truck, but I guess he got pissed. And, I guess decided to take his revenge on the building and the people inside, maybe that denied him. So we're just waiting for a press conference.
Now move to sentencing.
And on the side, we're just watching this thing that happened earlier today. This guy was sentenced because he shot in a road rage incident, shot indiscriminately into a car because a woman flicked him off and shot and killed a 6-year-old, and went on the run with his girlfriend for 2 weeks, and they caught his ass.
The first thing that the court is going to do is go through the fines, and this is required in every case. The court is going to impose a $40 court operation fee and a $30 criminal conviction assessment fee on both counts 1 and 2. The court is also going to impose a $300 state restitution fund fee, and the court is also going to impose a $300 revocation fine. The latter is stayed pending successful completion of either probation or parole if that were to occur.
Ronan says he stole it from a gas station, he heard.
With respect to the credits, the sentencing report does indicate dates up to today, and the court indicates that it will then put in the abstract or in the minute order 1,042 days of actual time, as what was pointed out by the people. Because of the conviction of murder, there are no conduct credits. Would the defense agree with that? All right, on behalf of the people, do you have to take issue at all with the number of days of actual time in custody?
No.
All right, now let's go to the next area, and that is restitution. The probation department said to be submitted later. However, the people did submit a restitution order, and I think that has to do with reimbursement of victims' compensation fund. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Is there any other restitution other than what you have put in the restitution order?
We have reached out to both Aiden's father and mother, and they both declined any further restitution.
Well, what the court's going to do, my tentative is to execute the restitution order as submitted and reserve jurisdiction in the event that there is further restitution having to do with the impact of the crime. All right, any issue with that?
Chris, what's up?
No issue.
Okay, now we go to...
Yeah, apparently the girlfriend's only getting like 4 years, something like that. Facing him for 4 years.
The actual sentence. The first thing that the court should do is to impose the sentence on count 1. The court, at this point in time, will impose 15 years to life on count 1, which is the punishment authorized by the statute. The court will now go to the enhancement. And as I've attempted to articulate, if the court dismisses the enhancement, the court then goes back and determines if the defendant is statutorily eligible, and I will revisit the sentencing on count 1. So the issue for the court today, and I think everybody has agreed, is whether the court, in its discretion, should strike the additional 25 years to life under 12022.53. The court in that has considered the defendant's statements, considered the report that was authored by the doctor that was submitted to the court yesterday. I've considered the fact that the report does indicate childhood trauma, and I've also considered the fact of the age of the defendant at the time. And before I get into the final decision, I'm assuming, as the people brought out, the court is making the report of the doctor as part of the sentencing, so that this constitutes a Franklin hearing. And the defendant has had the ability to set forth the factors in the event that that becomes important in the future. But I just wanted to make sure, are there any other information in terms of the Franklin hearing that the court is required to conduct at this time because of the age of the defendant at the time of the sentencing, at the time of the offense.
The only defense request I have specific to the Franklin issue is that there is some law that indicates about what the defense ability to reintroduce Franklin factors after the court sentence as we're going to our parole hearing. And I would simply ask that if new information that is available, that defense retains the right to
What's up, Sherlock?
that to the extent that the law allows that. I don't think that's really a concern for the court today.
That the court has considered and exercising its now discretion to whether to dismiss, strike the 12022.53. As I've indicated, I've taken into account what has been reported is the childhood trauma of the defendant. I've taken into account the
Childhood
age
trauma.
of the defendant. I've taken into account also the defendant's statement here. I just cannot draw a connection between the childhood trauma, what has been reported about the lack of development of frontal lobes of individuals at that age, as well as his age, and in looking and reading and presiding over this case, this defendant didn't commit any crimes until this particular day. He didn't. He's driving on the freeways. He's being subject to, I think, what we all see every day. And there was no impulse other than on this particular day. And I just can't connect that in this case, that his childhood trauma or his age was a factor in the commission of this crime. We have a 6-year-old in the back seat, the most vulnerable victim that you can even imagine, going to kindergarten, being driven by his mom. And she, the mom, did some driving maneuver that caused girlfriend to give the peace sign, that caused the mom
Oh, it was a peace sign? Oh.
to flip off. And that caused you.
Oh, hold on. Let's say that again. Hold on. What was the sequence?
Imagine the most vulnerable victim that you can even imagine, going to kindergarten, being driven by his mom. And she, the mom, did some driving maneuver that caused girlfriend to give the peace sign, that caused the mom to flip off. And that caused you to get behind the car. And in that particular moment, you had the power. And the power was that handgun. And whether it was to impress your girlfriend, to release your anger, you fired. And that little boy died. When all is said and done, that's what happened in this case. I cannot, as the sentencing judge, look at the facts and circumstances of this case and see any stretch of the imagination, a non-legal justification such as being provoked or anything other than, I'm going to get back at her. And that's what happened. And as the people have brought out, and there's a case that our United States Supreme Court decided almost 30 years ago called Payne versus Tennessee. And what is an aggravating factor of a crime is victim impact. I don't think the English language can even attempt for anybody to even describe what Aiden's mother went through after he said, ouch. She pulls over and her little boy dies in her arms. I don't think anybody can even
and one here
what the rest of her life is going to be about how her little boy died. The court places great weight on that aggravating factor that I'm allowed to do. And as a result, the court, in exercising its discretion, will not dismiss the enhancement. The court will impose 25 years to life consecutive to the 15 to life for count 1 for a total of 40 years.
Susan said that the press conference was delayed. It's scheduled for 25 minutes from now. Okay, it was scheduled for 2 but was delayed. Okay, thank you.
To life. With respect to count 2, I'll ask the people. I do agree with the defense. I think the people also perhaps share in that it is merged pursuant to Penal Code Section 654. Would you agree?
I do, sir.
So the court is still required to impose a term. The court will impose and follow
another road rage shooting too, guys.
The 1385
sentenced
because there was not a submission of factors of aggravation having to do with count 2. Am I correct on that? On
You are, sir.
All right. So the court then, in exercising its discretion under the California Rules of Court, will impose the midterm of on that, and the court will also impose the 25 years to life. But it will run, it is merged pursuant to Penal Code Section 654. Now, before I get to the final order to the sheriff, I do want to ask, the court's having, does the people see any sentencing errors that the court has made in terms of the imposition of the sentence?
No, Your Honor.
On behalf of
Oh, you just got notified?
Yeah.
Wait,
If I can have just a moment.
why don't they turn on the volume on the news thing?
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
Bienvenido.
Anything else before I give the appeal rights? Okay.
Another channel I'm subscribed
Sir,
to.
I need to address you.
An hour ago, and I was just notified. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, man.
You have a right
No.
to appeal the sentence of the court. And this is very important. I need to know that you understand this. It is your responsibility to file the notice of appeal. You must do so within 60 days. It must be filed with the clerk of my court here. It is your responsibility. I'm sure you've discussed that with your attorney. Will do, and you will also be provided, and sure you understand you can do it. 60 days of the sentencing or the notification of the appellate rights.
No.
On behalf of the people.
No, Your Honor.
All right, the sheriff at this time is ordered to transport the defendant forthwith to the department.
They say he got, according to this stuff, man sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. Lock his ass up. You know, 6-year-old. Just like that. It's crazy. Now,
3 years, but he's going to serve 40 to life. Plus 3 years, but he's going to serve 40 to life.
40 to life.
That will be subsumed.
Wow.
More complicated for me to go beyond that.
Wow. Now, apparently, I was just scrolling, and there's some other man being sentenced. Dakari Kinner, the man who was found guilty on several charges, including manslaughter for last year's shooting of George Geo Jensen on I-76. We'll learn his fate today.
If you are an out-of-state offender, you must enroll in the database personally with the sheriff of the county in which you reside or occupy a dwelling within 10 days of either residing in or occupying a dwelling in Ohio for more than 3 consecutive days,
Road rage
or
killer.
2, residing in or occupying a dwelling in Ohio for an aggregate period in a calendar year of 14 or more days. You are required to provide the sheriff certain information, including your full name and name.
Well, let me give you some of the details about this story. It says here, according to WKYC, the shooting happened May 17 when there appeared to be a road rage incident between Jensen and another driver in a black 2018 or newer Chevy Camaro. As the two traveled on I-76, according to the initial report, police say witnesses observed the black Camaro firing shots at the victim's vehicle before the single vehicle crash. Court documents allege that Kinnard was seen fleeing the location, exiting onto Barber Road and turning north. The Camaro then passed by a license plate reader and was seen entering on I-76 West and back past the scene of the shooting. Police recovered 8 shell casings following the shooting. Police further say further investigation linked Norton incident to another shooting that happened in Columbus on April 13. He was arrested 2 weeks after the I-76 shooting. The Summit County Medical Examiner's Office previously said that the victim's vehicle came to a stop after it struck a concrete median.
Any alias you use, your residence address, your social security.
He's being charged with 2 counts of voluntary manslaughter, 1 count of felonious assault, and 1 count of discharging a firearm on or near prohibited premises.
Number, any driver's license number or commercial driver's license number or state identification card number issued to you, information regarding the offense of which you were convicted of, or
crazy.
The name and address of any place where you are employed, the name and address of any school or institution of higher education you attend, the license plate number of each vehicle, and restricting marks, and address, and if you were to commit a new
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for your patience. I know we wanted to try to speak to you all a little bit earlier. If you will allow me, I'd like to make some statements in English, then I'd like to make some statements in Spanish, and then I will take a very few questions. I do have team members with me that may be able to answer a few more. I want to make sure that we're clear. We never want to provide any information that jeopardizes an investigation, so please be patient with us. This is a very, very, very hard day today. And I'm standing here with more than just a heavy heart. And I know that we have a speaker behind us, but it is more important that we focus on ensuring that all of our families are reunified with all of their loved students inside. So I'm not going to stop that process for a moment for me to visit with you all, and I hope you all understand that. We did have a student shot today in the leg in a classroom setting by another student. And individuals in that classroom, namely the adult teacher in that room, helped us avoid additional tragedy. This is absolutely unacceptable and unimaginable, but it is happening across schools in America.
Yeah. This was the shooting from earlier. I thought this was the truck driver.
I know that everyone has many questions. I have those questions. I have those very same questions that you all are going to want to ask us that we are still working on. Thankfully, our student is in the care of professionals and it is a non-life-threatening injury. That should never be a normal statement that should come from a superintendent.
There's only one feed going. She just has that in the background.
Has a non-life-threatening injury. I refuse to say that we will normalize these behaviors. I refuse. And I hope that everyone joins me, as everyone here who is supporting us at this time understands this can never become acceptable. We can and we must eradicate these types of situations. We must all come to grips with the fact that the solution is a collective responsibility. This is not something that a school can individually do. It is not something a neighborhood can individually do. We must work together. Educators, parents, community members, and advocates, we must all come together and center around the issue that we must provide services and resources to our communities who all need them. I'm deeply, deeply grateful for the first responders who mobilized, starting with our Dallas ISD Police Department, the Dallas Police Department, the Hutchins Police Department, Dallas Fire and Rescue, and our incredible school staff, who within minutes secured this facility. I also want to acknowledge, of course, our Dallas ISD trustees. I'll introduce one of our trustees from this community who's here with me as well, Trustee Maxie Johnson. We also have Mayor of Wilmer here, Sheila Petta, and State Representative, of course, Carl Sherman, who all came out to support and to help us as we work through this unification process. This investigation is in fact ongoing, and our Dallas ISD Chief of Police, Albert Martinez, will be able to take a few questions. I have instructed him to explore every single option to evaluate our vulnerabilities and how we can mitigate these so that this does not happen again. When families send their children to school, just as I have sent mine to school, they should not have to worry about the safety of their children. I take that very seriously. We have work to do. And so I also want to thank our parents, for they have been tremendously understanding and patient through this process. I would not rush the unification process. We had to do it correctly. We had to ensure we were providing mental health support right in the moment as parents were coming for their students.
And by the way,
I know that
I'm going to pause this for a second and we'll get into the details. I'm reading a little bit about this high school shooting, and one parent said that the campus had been fitted with metal detectors and it requires clear backpacks, and they also wand students. So what the hell? How they get this gun into the school? Y'all got all kinds of security ish.
we are a strong and resilient community, and we will come together.
I went to high
I
school.
know we will heal. I know we will grow. I know we will get better. And yet, I have heard my colleagues and I say these words too many times. it cannot be the normal response. So I would like to make my statements in Spanish, and then I'll take a few questions. Estoy aquí con un corazón muy pequeño. Un estudiante está con profesionales médicos.
I don't know, man. They need to stop. They need to start locking up the kids that are coming into their schools. Not, and forget juvenile. Lock them up as adults. Let the other inmates deal with them. Start locking up these kids. Looking at how they're getting these guns. Maybe the parents need to get charged too. I don't know how this kid where you get that. They got to backtrack to where they get that gun from.
Todos debemos aceptar el hecho de que la solución.
Start locking them up. Don't forget the Jewy shit. Just start putting them in. Since they want to be adult, put them in adult prison.
Para resolver este desafío tan real. Los educadores, padres, miembros de la comunidad y defensores deben centrarse en este tema, y les imploro a todos que creer el cambio necesario que mantendrá seguros a nuestros niños y miembros del equipo. También estoy profundamente agradecido.
Yeah, you gotta wonder how they got this gun in there. I mean, was there a side door, a side entrance? Did somebody help this kid out? You know?
Policía de Dallas ISD, Policía de Dallas, el Departamento de Policía de Hutchins, el Departamento de Bomberos de Dallas y nuestro increíble personal escolar que, sin cuestión, en momentos aseguraron rápidamente nuestro campus. También quiero reconocer y agradecer a nuestros administradores de Dallas ISD, los alcaldes de Wilmer y el representante estatal Carl Sherman y mesa directiva Maxie Johnson, quienes vinieron a apoyarnos y ayudarnos a reunir a los estudiantes con sus familias. La investigación está en curso y les pido paciencia. Cuando las familias envían a sus hijos a la escuela y los maestros y el personal de apoyo vienen a trabajar todos los días, lo último de que deben preocuparse es que sus hijos o sus seres queridos están seguros. Por eso hoy agradecemos a nuestros padres por su comprensión y paciencia mientras trabajamos en este proceso. Y agradezco a nuestro personal por permanecer tranquilos, con compasión y valientes. Somos una comunidad fuerte, pero esto ha pasado muchas veces. Tenemos que tener soluciones. Again, I want to thank our entire community, especially our entire Dallas ISD and supportive family. They exhibited calm, they exhibited compassion, and courage. And I am thankful to be a member of that team. I'll take just a couple of questions and then I'll turn it over to our team who are far more informed on this. And then some of the members here with me may also want to be making a statement. So let me take just a couple of questions. Robin, will you help me?
And I know you may say this may be a question for the chief, but can you say was the gun recovered? How did the gun
The weapon has been recovered.
the person in custody?
The person is in custody.
Dr. Lazali, we've heard there are metal detectors here. Can you tell us if that's true, and if so, how the gun got inside?
So that is obviously the question I have that I don't have an answer for with regard to how did the gun get inside.
Yeah.
We do have metal detectors. They were in use today. We know that there are vulnerabilities. There are so many entrances to schools. So that's one of the areas that the chief will be working with the school to identify those vulnerabilities.
Where did the shooting happen? What area of the school?
I don't know the actual location, but it was a classroom, a small classroom setting.
Will you guys reevaluate your guys' security measures?
Oh, we will absolutely, our chief will lead an after-action study and report, lessons learned, so that we can share those practices with our other campuses as well. Again, in an effort to stay proactive, we must use this tragedy to learn something. and ensure that we don't wait for something else to occur.
What did the teacher do to help calm the situation?
The teacher is a very humble individual, and he was able to direct the student away from the campus so that he could take care of, first, the injured student, and secondly, to ensure that the alleged suspect did not enter into the rest of the school building. So that's why I know how much more was avoided, because he was directed away from the school.
When was the suspect captured? And I think it was DISD.
Yeah, I'll turn that one over to Chief Martinez.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Both are students at this school.
Sorry, what was your question, Rebecca?
Where did y'all capture him? And it was your officers that took him into custody?
We had assistance from Dallas Police Department. They were here as well. As the superintendent mentioned, there were other agencies here, but the student or the shooter was captured back over in the stadium area. Officer saw him and contained, and then he surrendered.
Do y'all know what led up to this? What caused the shooting?
No, man, right now we don't know motive, but we'll certainly look into that to establish why.
What type of gun?
I do not know. It's not a rifle. It's basically a handgun.
Can you tell us a little bit of the timeline of what time before you arrived, what happened when you arrived? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I don't have the exact timeline, but it was sometime after 10. I can tell you I was just coming from our administrative headquarters. I had just pulled up to the police headquarters when the call came out. So about 6 of us were coming down the freeway. We got here, Dallas Fire Rescue had already set up their active shooter command post. They did a tremendous job. We had Hutchins PD help us out, and I would say we were here from the time of the call, maybe 7-8 minutes, but there were already officers here already tending to the victim.
So it happened in a separate building but a classroom, right?
No, sir, it is in this building in the classroom.
So can you talk about what measures you guys have already taken to try to make the school safer? And I understand, you have this weapon, you've got all these safety measures already.
Right, it was already mentioned there are metal detectors. We're complying with House Bill 3 where we're checking doors, we're making sure they're locked. We do our own internal audits. The TEA has come out and done audits. Our Office of Emergency Management has done audits, as well as our school safety, the resources monitoring have also done audits. So, and even internally, the campuses have their own security teams doing the same thing. So along with all of this as well is constant monitoring. We have the cameras, which we're going to utilize to determine exactly what was asked. How did this come about? So we'll reach out to resources. I don't have to call Chief Garcia to ask him for any help, but I've already reached out with Texas DPS was here as well, so I've already reached out to them. We will reutilize our state resources. The FBI has already called as well. So whatever resources we need to examine and really analyze those videos, we will, to determine how this came about.
Chief, did this student have a disciplinary?
I don't know, sir, but we probably won't even get into that. Again, it's contained to those 2 students for whatever reason.
Some of the parents have been telling me that the metal detectors aren't working, and that's most of the time that the students don't.
Jeez, I think she said some of the parents have been telling her that the metal detectors aren't working.
For whatever reason.
Some of the parents have been telling me that the metal detectors aren't working, and that's most of the time that the students don't use the metal detectors, and they put their bags around so they don't get checked.
Wow.
We'll look into that. We'll see that on video, but also the expectation on that, if for some reason it's malfunctioning, there are other alternatives that we use through our school monitors, our security teams to use wands as well to examine them. But we'll look into that.
It's all bullshit. They say that's all robotic reply.
As far as we can tell, because of the incident, we think it's between those 2 students, but we'll find out.
Can you give the ages and/or classes of those students?
I believe both may be adult age, being 17 and older, but I don't know their exact age or class.
Were there other weapons besides the gun?
Not that I know of.
How was the apprehension process?
We just captured him out near the stadium in the back on the west side of the school, but as far as how that took place, I don't know.
Was he
I don't know, sir. Yep. Okay.
Just one shot, one part of the leg.
Just on the upper thigh, as far as we know, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else? Otherwise, in Spanish? Did you need a couple of questions in Spanish? Answer? You're good? Okay. I just wanted to go ahead and... So I would like to take a moment now and turn this over to our Board of Trustees, Maxie Johnson, who is a representative of this community. Trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Superintendent. I'd like to have a statement, make a statement. Unfunded or underfunded mandate does not work in public education. We have to single-handedly solve all the challenges that our communities are dealing with no money. Governor Greg Abbott is on a mission to paralyze and even defund public education. More than $15 billion is missing from Texas school districts, and we are having to adapt to an already difficult budget by political agendas that forget the kids and communities that we're supposed to be serving. We have a governor that is obsessed with vouchers, and this is a problem. Public funds belongs in public schools. I'm a parent that has been a victim of losing a child due to senseless gun violence. I know how this feels. I'm also a gun owner, and this is a statewide issue and national issue. We must find solutions to keep guns out of the hands of our children. We're doing everything that we can do across the state of Texas, our school districts, our superintendents, but we must stop underfunded mandates and unfunded mandates on our Texas public schools. Public funds belongs in public schools. Thank you.
And now I'd also like, I have the honor of introducing Representative Carl Sherman.
Okay.
First, to the families, we want to say.
By the way, on the right-hand side, this might be now the press conference for the truck situation. So there's two things like going on at the same time, right?
Our prayers
Texas.
continue to be with you and your children. To Superintendent, to the staff of DISD, I couldn't be more proud of the way that you have handled this situation. To our PD, to see an increase in school shootings. Last year, we had 247 school shootings. Parents, I encourage you to get involved, to implore your legislators to send more than thoughts and prayers. You can look for the data yourself at K through 12 school shootings data, and you will find that this situation is only getting worse. Before 2018, it was something to have 50 school shootings. Now we have more, or almost 250 school shootings. And Texas leads as number 2 on that list. We can do better, and we stand here as all recipients of grace and mercy, knowing that we already know what Jesus has said in Matthew 26, verse 52. He said, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. If we put our trust in guns instead of real solutions, we will continue to have this problem. Thank you, DISD, for how you facilitated this crisis. God bless you.
So what is the solution? We've been talking about the same shit for years.
And lastly, please welcome Mayor Petta from Wilmer.
Okay, what I need the mayor for?
My prayers go out to this community, to this school.
Oh, she's doing a nice lady, though.
We're two small cities. This school is our home. Our children mean much to all of us, not just one.
So yeah, what is this? Do we need to start arming the teachers, the cafeteria staff, everybody in the school? But what for sure, I think these kids need to get locked up, and like I said, forget about juvenile, whatever. Put them in real prison, lock them up give them some real hard time too. Forget redemption and shit. Put them there for I don't know, at least 10, 20. If nobody gets hurt, give them a 10. 10, 20 years, some shit like that. Maybe 10, maybe 10.
So please, everyone, put everyone here that was on this campus today. Many, many people. Put them in your prayers tonight. Thank you.
And then start looking into how they're getting these guns.
And this will be the last question.
Some crumbly shit. Start looking at how they're getting these guns and how they get the gun into the school.
Yeah, we'll keep it at the high level. Basically, our protocol here, of course, is when we show up as first responders, it's basically as the state center says, we are here to stop the killing, stop the dying. And that's our goal, is to make entry and to find where the shooter may be, protect the students, and then, of course, eliminate the shooter. And then, of course, then render aid. That's where DFR was here with their vests and to render treatment. From there, it's really you isolate what you have depending on how big the area is. It's a crime scene. And then we'll isolate that. But from there on, it's just you start then getting to the point of the reunification, right? Which is the process you're seeing now. And it's just a slow process. Once we know the danger has been removed, then now it's time to reunite the parents and the guardians with their children. And that's a much slower process, plus we conduct our investigation. Okay, thank you.
To eliminate the shooter or to...
So to stop the killing at whatever cost. Yes, sir.
So that's the high school incident. Nobody was killed. One person was injured.
I'm sure what she's saying is while the incident occurred.
And right now we're waiting for an update. I think on the right side, what we're going to get is a press conference for this semi-truck. So somebody got pissed and in their feelings because they got denied their CDL license, their commercial driver's license. And so the person said, you know what, man, I'm done with this shit. I'm thinking the office they got denied at.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check. 1, 2. I'm a little shorter than most people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check.
Here, I'll put it.
Mic check. 5. Check. 3, 4, 5. Check.
Just want to show you a little aerial view from earlier. That's the truck. All right, that's the truck. So somebody was like, "Nah, hell no, man." And I mean, what I read, they rammed this building multiple times. This is the building where you get your license at. All right, society is in a decline right now. It's been on a decline for a while. As far as there were several people injured and taken to the hospital. I think some were airlifted. Some people were taken in a helicopter. I thought it was like, I don't know, 13 or 14 people. I'm just estimating from what I read. So on the bottom right is the live feed right now. They're going to do a press conference. And on the bigger screen is just from earlier for people that missed it. They took this big ass truck. That was the chopper. And rammed it into this, like the driver's license place. Ronan, I think Ronan said they got the truck from a gas station or something. I think. I really want to see a mugshot. I want to see what this person looks like. I haven't heard of anybody killed, but there's several people taken to the hospital. Like over a dozen people taken to the hospital, I think. Vicky in the chat says, sadly, I think it's come down to metal detectors and armed guards at every entry. Then they need to crack down on these kids getting a hold of guns. Remember that 6-year-old too? The 6-year-old that shot the teacher. They arrested the mother in that case, in that situation. I think they should lock up the 6-year-old too. Arrest the mom and lock up the 6-year-old. Fuck it. No, but I don't know. I wonder what they would do for that. I guess the mother would maybe lose custody, or would they give it to like an extended family or something like that? That 6-year-old was shot out too, because I think what happened when the 6-year-old shot the teacher, I think that 6-year-old said something like, Like, I got you, bitch. Or something about a bitch. Called her a bitch or something like that. After shooting her 6-year-old. Let me look up what that kid said. Boy who wounded Abigail Werner said, I shot that bitch dead. You believe that? Baby jail. Yeah, put him in baby jail or something. I don't know, man. That all comes down to the parent, right? It's wild, yo. Sabrina, what's up? Shout out. Apparently, notifications aren't working properly on the channel, so that's really unfortunate. People have been telling me over the last 2 days, 3 days, and I didn't really notice too much, but then today's the first time that I noticed on my second account that I follow my main page and the notification's not going out. So I'm like, dang, bro. Yeah, the notification's not working. That sucks big time. And the school had, metal detectors. Metal detection entrances. If you stop a gun's entry, no one gets that school had metal detectors down. What the lady was saying is that they had multiple entrances though, so maybe these kids, got through in a different entrance. There was a school that I went to, a high school in New York, that had metal detectors and it had an X-ray machine. Oh, look, the helicopter. Oh, that's interesting. Helicopter's landing. I think it's landing. Texas DPS. That school I was going to, and when I was talking about they had the metal detectors and stuff, the kids used to sometimes go to the side entrances and they'll like push it open to let their friends in and shit like that. It could have been something like that. I don't know. And I think they need to look into the parents too. I don't know what the laws are in Texas. Like in Florida, you have kids in the house, you have to have it locked up. Like it's a law, I don't know what the law in Texas is, that they have laws like that about storing your gun or not. Oh, all the channels you're subscribed to are messed up. I get notifications for lives after they're over. Dang, man. And YouTube hasn't acknowledged it though. That's the weird thing. I mean, I tweeted at them, but the robot responded to me. Got some automated reply. They used to reply to people with actual responses. Now it looks like it's just automated. It's almost as bad as the emails. I emailed the YouTube manager, so I don't know. I don't think she'll get back to me this weekend, but we'll see. Whoa! How you know? You remember me talking about that school, Desi? Desi 71. Did you go to that school? That's the high school I'm talking about. Zanime. Uh-oh, you're in the chat. Uh-oh. How you doing? I hope you're doing amazing! It's a conspiracy. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, John Adams, man. That shit was like an airport. I remember. I mean, it's been so long, but I remember it's like you're walking into the airport. You got to put your backpack through this X-ray thing, and then you got to walk through the metal detectors. And yeah, I was in that school during 9/11. That's really cool. They remember that. Been a while since you've sent us emails. Beach mail, check. You're right. It has. I sent one recently, but I've missed a lot. And honestly, with the notifications not working, I need to start working back on the emails. Damn, I forgot even bars on the windows. Notifications aren't working, guys. So I suggest, I don't know. I guess use one of the platforms you can, Discord, or the mailing list, or Twitter, or Facebook. Follow me on an alternative platform, and then you'll get the notification. Let me see if there's anything else about this. Yeah, one of my daughter's schools were trying to do that. Like they started implementing the clear backpacks and like the clear lunch boxes and stuff like that. What's happened to you, Ronnie? Really? I mean, I haven't been in one of these things in so long, like a DMV, but I can't imagine going there and just waiting and all that stuff, and all of a sudden just doosh, like just a whole semi truck. I think it's some type of international attack, or see if there's any more information I can find out about this. They're supposed to be doing a presser. Let's see what they're talking about on Twitter. So, hey, oh, by the way, Caitlyn Jenner's snapping. She's a little pissed. Let me pull up these two stories. Caitlyn Jenner got upset because, so you know, remember OJ passed away, and Caitlyn Jenner said, "Good riddance, OJ." And so people were calling out that she was involved in a car accident, a fatal car accident where somebody was killed. And so Caitlyn, I guess she got kind of pissed, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, you're gonna bring that up, huh?" And so Caitlyn got a little snappy. She said, "I know you all think it's cute to compare a fatal car accident with multiple vehicles involved, by the way, to a brutal murder. But remember, OJ said something to the effect of, 'I could kill her, Nicole, and get away with it because I'm OJ Simpson.'" So Caitlyn snapped back. Caitlyn's pissed. She didn't like what the internet was saying about her. And let's see, somebody, I don't know too many, multiple vehicles were involved. Their vehicle was the one to cause it, allegedly, because of you, somebody was killed. Be quiet. Caitlyn Jenner to pay $800,000 to settle. Let me fix this. The settlement for the 2015 fatal car crash. Yeah, so why you pay the $800,000? I know you said there's multiple cars involved. She's not too happy. She is not too happy. Caitlyn snapping. Good riddance. Die. Damn. I know they got a long history too, I guess. Good riddance and die.
Hey, good looking.
I thought it was a little nasty. You know, somebody passed away. You know, let him be. You know, it's gone. They're gone. You know. Legendary. Oh, you didn't know OJ died? Yeah, he passed away from cancer. I think it was. I think it was prostate cancer. Timothy, thank you for the 3-month membership. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mimi Moody, thank you for the super chats. One Last Breath, thank you for the membership. Wimbles, thank you for the 8 months. Thanks for all email and crew. Bloop bloop bloop. Oh, and by the way, Sarah Boone has been canceled again. I think now they're saying it's going to be in July. The hearing or trial or whatever, I don't even know. I stopped holding my breath on that one a long time ago. Let's see what else is going on. 18-wheeler. So this resulted in multiple serious injuries. Authorities are investigating the incident, which they believe may have been intentional, and the driver of the truck, who was currently under investigation. The truck involved in the crash was reportedly stolen. Okay. Update will be provided soon. It was crazy, man. I just, the times that we're in, it's just like, wow, let me show you this too for anybody that missed it. Get ready. Look at that. You gotta have some balls to do that. I mean, you don't know who's there, who you could be running over, who you could be killing, kids, all kinds of stuff. And just ramming the building.
Department of Public Safety. I have with me right now our regional director, Gerald Brown. He is going to come up and then offer a few remarks, and then we'll give more details about what happened. So I'm going to turn it over to Regional Director Gerald Brown.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. This is such a tragic event. Sometime this morning around 11 or 10:30 time frame, we had an 18-wheeler that ran through our driver's license / highway patrol office, which is directly across the street from here. Yes, ma'am. So we had an 18-wheeler that ran through our driver's license office that's directly across the street from here. What we know is that we had several people injured as a result of this accident. As a result of this incident, the driver was being followed. He had stolen an 18-wheeler earlier. Justin's going to get into all that, so I won't get into those details. He was being chased by a deputy, and he ran into our building. We have several people that were injured, and one is deceased at this time. Again, Justin will get into all
somebody
those.
Died.
This is a tragic day for us. Tragic day. My heart and prayers goes out to the family members of those that are injured, as well as those that are injured. We have multiple agencies that are here that are assisting, to include Washington County, Brenham PD, the FBI, and as well as all the resources that we have with the Texas DPS. So we have the Texas Rangers, the Texas Highway Patrol, and the Criminal Investigation Division. So I'll step back and let Justin, Sergeant Reese, come up and give you guys the details. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate y'all.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is a sad day for DPS and for all the people that were involved, all the customers that we had in our building today for today's incident. A Washington County Sheriff's deputy and other law enforcement were behind this 18-wheeler. It was reported stolen. When they saw the vehicle, it was on State Highway 36 over here on this side of 290 by the McDonald's. The driver fled from law enforcement and came here on 290 going westbound, took the feeder loop under 290, the main highway, and went east back on 290 feeder. The stolen 18-wheeler took a hard right turn and went into the DPS Brenham office. The suspect is Leonard Parker, who is 42, from Chapel Hill. Parker was taken into custody and taken to the Washington County Sheriff's Department. Parker did come to the DPS Brenham office yesterday at approximately 3 or 4 p.m. where he was denied his commercial driver license. He then, while he was there, the driver's license staff advised Parker that he was not eligible to renew his commercial driver's license. 2 people were flown to CHI, St. Joseph's and Bryan. 1 person was flown to Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston. 3 were transported to Scott and White here in Brenham and have been released. And 8 were treated and released on the scene of the incident. Unfortunately, 1 person has succumbed to their injuries and died at the hospital. This is a criminal investigation that is being led by the Texas Rangers. Parker is facing multiple felony offenses, and Victim Support Services for DPS is on the scene at the family reunification, which is at the Brenham Police Department. Any questions? That's all under investigation. His name is going to be Leonard Parker. C-L-E-N-A-R-D Parker.
Does he have previous charges?
That's under investigation.
Can you talk to us about the deceased person? Which hospital did he or she die at? And do you know the approximate age and male?
We're not going to release that information right now because it's still very fresh. And so family notification still has to be made.
Was that person a state employee?
That's under investigation.
How many people total were state employees and how many were?
So all we have right now is 14 total individuals. That's all under investigation. Still very active. Can you repeat your question? No, there was no resist.
Would you describe how he was arrested? Would you describe how he was arrested?
He was taken out of the 18-wheeler and taken into custody by several officers.
When he was denied that CDL, were there any threats to return and were there any precautions taken maybe beyond this?
That's still under investigation. We're pulling all the information that we can.
So I'm assuming that there's national video when and how would you release that?
That's all going to be released through a public information request.
Why was he denied CDL?
That's all under investigation.
Do you know how fast he was driving?
No, we're still trying to get all that information. It's very fresh, so we're still trying to get as much information as we can.
Would you approximately how many people were actually inside the building?
That was going to be the 14 people.
So all 14 people who were injured, or 13 injured, or what deceased were totality people?
Yes,
inside?
all the people.
Wow, everybody in the building.
So the 8 that I said that got checked on scene, that was everybody that was still there that didn't want to go to the hospital. So that's going to include all the people that were there. What's that? We're still trying to figure that out.
Leonard Parker.
Looks like it went into the building. Did he drive out and drive it back in, or why is he?
Yeah, he went into the vehicle, or went into the building, and did come back out.
Would you describe the building? We can see the entrance. What was the truck hitting? What is in there?
That is the front door where the driver's license office is at.
And how far back did it go?
I'm not. It's unsure right now. We're still trying to figure all that out.
That's a waiting area where people wait for the driver's
Correct.
license and that kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah, that's the waiting area and where the driver's license desks are at.
Gotcha. So were any officers just trying to get an idea of exactly how far into the building?
Correct.
Did the truck make it inside? Did it make it past the lobby and the officers?
That's all still under investigation. There are several offices behind that driver's license waiting area, so we're still trying to figure all that out.
Did the suspect suffer any injuries in the process?
The suspect did not suffer any injuries.
So there were 14 people. You said there were 14 people. 8 people checked out, 1 person deceased, everybody else went to hospitals.
Everybody went to hospitals, yes.
Okay. And then of the 14, how many were civilians and how many were civilians?
We're still trying to figure all that out. What's that? Washington County Sheriff's Department. He's in jail over there. That's something we're...
Two more questions. Two more questions.
We're still trying to figure all that out.
Let's go video.
Sergeant, could this be considered an act of domestic terrorism?
We have all assets on scene and trying to figure all that out together. Like I said, this is still very active and ongoing, so I can't release that information right now.
Can you give us a sense of what level is already at a heightened level just in recent time because of the climate, if you will? Can you give us a sense of where that will be moving forward in terms of the other government offices?
Well, what I can say today is that this area is safe. We've got the suspect in custody, and we're all out here trying to get the scene all fixed up and taken care of.
Is the suspect the one from Washington County on staff, or are you guys aware of, like, structurally, if the anticipate the building could reopen anytime soon, or will the service be early?
So we'll.
I need to get my ID.
At this point, right?
Yeah, open that
It's gonna
shit.
shut down for a little while. For all of our customers that are that has appointments and plan to come here for a driver's license, please go to our DPS website to see when you can go to get a driver's license. So what we can tell you right now is what we've already told you. This is an active investigation, and as soon as we know more, we will surely share it with you. We want to be transparent with you, and as soon as we are able to show any videos, any of those things of that nature, we will, through our public information office, you can get that information. But as of right now, it's an active investigation. So that's going to be all the questions. We're going to allow the senator to come up. You want to come in, Mr. Senator? I think he gave that to you already.
I must have. I'm sorry.
Yeah, give him the date of birth. Please.
All right, Mr. Parker's date of birth is going to be July 16th of 1981. July 16th of 1981.
Did you say where the 18-wheeler was stolen from?
This is a tragic day, and it's affected a whole lot of people. Obviously, this investigation is just in its infancy right now, so we have a lot of questions that we're working to get answers, which is the reason why all these resources are here. But we're blessed to have with us the Texas Senator for this area, Louis Colhorst, and we want to give her an opportunity to talk about this tragedy.
I first want to say to everyone that we need to pray for the victims. And now that we have lost someone in this tragedy, please pray for their families. This is a day that you don't think is going to happen. That office right there is something known to the mayor and I and everyone in Brenham. We've taken our children to get their driver's license there. I've gotten my driver's license there. It's a place of public service. And so what we've seen today was an act of violence. And I want to first thank all the first responders, the deputy sheriff that realized that was a stolen truck, those that got on the scene quickly to keep more damage from being done, as I understand. I want to thank DPS and all of our servants. Today we are reminded that those that service in public, it's a dangerous job. Someone that goes to work today to issue driver's license can literally trigger someone to create an act of violence like the one that we see across the street. And so I want to thank all of our first responders that were on the scene today, helping those victims. I want to thank all of the law enforcement for their quick reaction. And again, pray for those victims that have been hurt. In ways we're blessed that more weren't injured in this act of violence. And then finally, I want to say that we will prosecute this person to the full extent of the law, because this will not be tolerated. Not in my hometown, and not in our home state.
That's right.
So, again, thank you to all those that responded. Join us in prayers for the victims, and we will be tough on this crime. Thank you.
I'd like to bring up the mayor for the city of Brenham for some remarks.
Thank you. Well, I'm not going to repeat everything that's
I'm sorry. Mayor Atwood Kinjur, mayor for the city of Burnham here. It's unfortunate that we are here gathered for a really senseless tragedy. And we just found out, or I just found out the same time you did, about the deceased. And that's not the kind of news we wanted to hear today. Our prayers are with those who are still in critical care. I want to say thanks to our first responders. Had it not been for their quick action, as you can see across the street, the suspect was backing the vehicle up and with the intent of going into it again. Our fire chief mentioned that if he had veered a little bit to the left the second time, there would have been a collapse of that building, which would have resulted in a lot more injuries and possible death. So again, thanks to our first responders. I can't say enough for them. They put their life on the line. And again, keep your prayers for those who are in the critical care now. Thank you very much.
We will continue to keep everyone updated on our social media channels, on our Twitter and Facebook channels. The investigators continue to work tirelessly behind us, and that will be going on for several hours. That's all we have for right now. Thank you.
All right. Damn. Unfortunately, somebody succumbed to their injuries. Oh man. They even said that whole building could have came down. Wow. Had he kept knocking into it. I pulled up a couple of those names in Texas, but I don't know exactly who's who. I don't want to put anybody out without being for sure. There's one person that has some type of previous criminal history. I don't know if this is the person. Tampering with government record. 2022. I don't know if this is the same person. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So, just because of his license, huh? The one person that I found says he's 42, July 1981. Is associated to an LLC. That's some type of courier business. So I wonder if this is the person, but I'll wait. We'll see when they actually officially put him out there. The type of courier service. I wonder if that's him. But we'll wait and see to be more for sure. And I guess notifications aren't working for now. That blows. What I'll try to do later, I'm gonna do a test. I want to go on the second channel later with whatever pops up. We'll see, and we'll see if there's notifications there. I don't know. CDL's commercial driver's license to drive those huge vehicles and stuff. He got denied his license, so yeah, I know the conference, the microphone's pointing towards the road. I mean, I don't know if they wanted that as a backdrop, the semi-truck. I don't know. It's just a weird, because yeah, the sound is picking up everything behind all the trucks and vehicles and all this crazy shit. You can barely hear the people. April 20th. April 20th is the Ryan Garcia fight. Gonna watch it on Discord. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Watch it on Discord. Also when the in July when the Logan Paul, I think, and Mike Tyson fight, that's gonna be a lot of fun too. So just set it on your calendars. I'm gonna make an event. I don't know what time it's gonna be. There hasn't been an official time put out yet, but I think that's gonna be fun. I know, right? I mean, the press conference right there, right on the road, like literally somebody fucks up while driving, they could cause an act, like they could literally hit these people holding a presser. It's kind of an interesting place to do it, but Purple Girl gonna just be live the whole time. All right, I'm gonna get off for now, but it is Friday. I'm happy it's Friday, and who knows what this weekend is gonna bring. Oh, I gotta help out my mother with some stuff, computer stuff. All right, guys.